Hey everyone, I've got another Vanguard video for today. This is the special deck that I mentioned in my Nirvana deck. This is the Dragon Tree deck. Now, the special thing about Dragon Tree, you can put it in any deck you want. Or, well, any nation you want, which is cool, as it itself has no nation of its own. Yeah, it's a pretty cool. It was introduced in set 10 as the, or not set 10, set 9 as the super special deck for the set. Let's just start because we got a lot of stuff to explain for this one. Yeah. Okay, the ride deck is a little bit weird. Let's go into the starter. Now, this is actually the only starter in Overdress that has an effect. So you can have a total of 5 cards in your ride deck made up of this card, 3 Calamity cards, and an Overtrigger. And its first effect is, this unit gets 2,000 power for each Calamity card with a different card name in your soul. And its other effect is, at the beginning of your main phase, choose a Calamity card from your ride deck, put it into your soul, and then, if you have 3 Calamity cards in your soul, put the 3 Calamity cards from your soul that were in the ride deck into the ride deck again, face up, and then ride 1 Dragon Tree of Ecliptic Decimation Griphogila and ride it as stand. And if you search your deck, shuffle it, and if you wrote a card, choose 2 of your rearguard circles and put a Dragon Tree marker on each of them. So, yeah, we got a lot to go over there. That's probably the biggest effect a Grade 0 has had in a long time since Gize. So let's just go over everything that it mentioned. First off, the 3 Calamity cards are these. Start of the end. Now, it does have an effect, but you won't be using it. It's only there for you to put into Grifoseed's soul. The Grade 2 Calamity cards, it is Municilius Metamorphosis. That is the Grade 2 one. And the final Calamity card is Looming Demise. There are 3 other Calamity cards that were introduced in set 8, and you can use them if you want. However, all of these actually kind of show a picture, which I actually like a lot. There's the seed being born from the death of a star, the seed leaving its former planet with Griphogila in the background, more seeds being spread, and then there's the seed landing on a new planet. And of course, as it also mentioned, your Overtrigger is in the ride deck. Now, we will go over why it's there later, but just remember that it is there. And for Dragon Tree markers, we've got 5 of them. To cover all of your rearguard circles. The Dragon Tree marker does, during your turn, if you have a Vanguard with Dragon Tree or Mask in its card name, all of your units on this circle get an extra 5k power, which is nice. That will help you boost whatever you put on the rearguard. Now, of course, we move on to the main guy of the deck, Dragon Tree of Ecliptic Decimation Griphogila. Of course, we got 4 of them in the main deck. Normally, you would have it in the ride deck, but Grifoseed automatically lets you go up into it. Its first effect is, during your turn, if this unit... Oh, wait, no. During your turn, this unit gets 5,000 power for each Dragon Tree marker on your rearguard circle. If you have 3 or more Dragon Tree markers, it also gets a critical. And then on Vanguard, once per turn, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, choose a face-up Calamity card from your ride deck, remove it. And if you could not remove a card, Choose an over trigger in your ride deck, reveal it, and activate all of its effects. And then remove it and stand all of your rear guards with Dragon Tree markers. So once you remove the 3 Calamity orders, you can activate your over trigger for free, which is very nice. And that's what Griphogila does. Onto the rest of the deck. We've got 4 of Verena Esperarida. Now, I bet you're wondering why it's in here in a non-Nirvana deck. It's actually because something very interesting. Since this is a grade 10, you can actually play this, which is nice, since it's a grade 4. And most decks, you wouldn't be able to do that except for the grade 4 Nirvana build and this guy. So his effects are Overdress, you need a Trickstar, which we won't be using in here. Its only effect that will apply in this deck is its final effect, once per turn on rearguard circle, when your Vanguard attacks, Soul Blast 1. Stand this unit, and this unit gets 5,000 power until the end of turn for each of this unit's original dress, which is 0, but you will probably have him on a Dragon Tree marker anyway. So this is going to be your big main attacker for this deck, besides Griphogila himself. Another big card for this deck is Dragon Tree Wretch Dragobactyl. When this is placed on a rearguard circle, counterblast 1. Choose one of your rearguard circles without a Dragon Tree marker and place a Dragon Tree marker on it. Its other effect is once per turn when an opponent's rearguard is retired during your main phase. Soul Blast 1, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 grade 1 or less card from among them and call it to a rearguard circle, and then shuffle the deck. Unfortunately, in this version of the deck, you probably won't be using that effect. I might make a different version that does not have Esperarida in it, that focuses more on the retiring aspect, but I'll do that in the future. The main reason he's here is to produce Dragon Tree markers. The next card in the deck is Blaze Maiden Mirren. When your unit with the Overdress ability attacks, put this unit into your soul. Choose one of your units with the Overdress ability, and it gets an extra 5,000 power until the end of the turn. It will produce a soul for your main Vanguard, and it will give power to Esperarida, which is nice. Another card we have is Stealth Dragon Fushimachi Madoka. This has a rearguard and guardian circle ability. When your opponent's drop zone has 4 or more cards, this unit gets an extra 2,000 power and 5,000 shield. And if they have 8 or more, it gets another 5,000 shield, which is nice. The final... Or no, not the final. We got 3 copies of Stealth Dragon Tensha Stead. When the attack that this unit boosted hits, counterblast 1 and retire him. Choose up to one of your Vanguards, search your deck for up to 1 card with the same card name as that card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Very nice, as it lets you get more copies of Griphogila. So, that's it for that. And the final actual... unit you will be using on the board is Twin Strike of Duststorm Orlando. This has the effect in Soul. When your opponent's rearguard was retired this turn, counterblast 1. Call this card to an open rearguard or call this card to a rearguard circle. We won't be using that effect. The only effect we'll be using is when your grade 3 or greater Vanguard attacks, put this unit into your soul, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets an extra 5,000 power until the end of the turn. Again, that's to help provide soul for Esperarida's effects. We got the 4 perfect guards that if you have 2 or less cards in your hand, you don't have to discard. This is the original Dragon Empire perfect guard from set 1. We got 4 of the effect crits. These are also pretty nice, because if you need to, you can put them down on your field. And their effect is, at the end of the battle that this unit boosted, put this unit into your soul, choose one of your units, it gets an extra 2,000 power until the end of the turn. Again, more soul for Esperarida. We've got 3 of the effect fronts. This gives the deck much more defensive abilities, and it can also power up your front row even more. Of course, we got the 4 heals. Not using the effect heals for this one, as I'm not really a fan of them, and I don't think they'll work in Griphogila either. So there's that, and the final card for the deck is 4 of the effect draws. Yeah, this deck is a really special one. We're not sure if it's getting, well, it probably will get more support later on since it's the main bad guy deck of the series. But as of what we know now, which is up to set 10 and a little bit of set 11, it's not getting anything else. So, yeah, that is it for this deck for now. I might do another one that focuses more on the retire style. But that's it for my meta version of this deck, although really this deck isn't all that meta at all, as it needs like 6+ turns to activate its win condition. And you're almost never going to reach that unless you're lucky. But still, it's a fairly fun deck in my opinion, and well, if you are able to get the Dragon Tree markers, which are soaring in price, unfortunately, I recommend picking it up. Of course, you can always use something else as a Dragon Tree marker, as it's not an actual card that goes in your deck. Anyway, yeah, that's it for this one. I should have some other videos for you next time, probably with Blue Flare for Digimon. See you for the next time.